Well, let's bring in Republican Congressman Buddy Carter from Georgia. He's a member of the House Budget Committee. Congressman, I want to take you to a tweet from Ilhan Omar. Just a second ago, I asked Chad about this parliamentarian ruling. Ilhan Omar says this ruling by the parliamentarian is only a recommendation. Senator Schumer and the White House can and should ignore it. We can't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do the right thing. It sounds to me like she sees it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get rid of the filibuster. What's your thought on her perspective and AOC's perspective that, look, forget about the parliamentarian. Immigration's got to be in this thing.
Well, the typical Democratic response, when they don't get what they want, they're just going to ignore it and go ahead and try to do what they can do. Look, this was a great ruling. And you know, obviously, I'm concerned about the $3.5 trillion socialist wish list. However, I was more concerned about them trying to pass policy within this appropriations bill, within this spending bill. And thank goodness the parliamentarian ruled the way that she did. This is the way that it should be done. We should be voting on that separate, not within this bill, not within a reconciliation bill, because that is policy, and it should have nothing to do with what we're talking about with the spending. This is bad enough, thinking about a socialist wish list, a $3.5 trillion progressive priority list. That's bad enough. But to try to put policy in it, like giving amnesty to illegal aliens, that is awful.
Congressman, we're hearing all this talk that Democrats are divided. The left progressives say that if we don't get the $3.5 trillion and everything in it, we're not going with infrastructure. The moderates say if we don't get infrastructure, we're not going with the $3.5 trillion. Do you think there's meaningful differences that could derail all of this among Democrats, or is this just talk, and at the end of the day, Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders get exactly what they want?
No, they're not going to get exactly what they want, because we're not going to let them do that. We've got to stop this. Look, this, you know, Republicans have been offering budget, we've been offering budget reform and offsets to try to avoid this $3 trillion tax hike that they are proposing. This will change Americans' lives. If we continue to spend money and print money, if we continue to saddle future generations with debt, if we continue to do all these things, then we're going to fundamentally change Americans' lives. This cradle-to-grave dependency that they are trying to create for people to be dependent on the government, that is just going to change America forever, and we're not going to let that happen. We can't let that happen.
Congressman, how much are the administration's recent failings in Afghanistan, now on the border, how much is that taking some of the wind out of the sails? I mean, the president is counting on this happening. It's the win that he thinks he needs, but he seems to be stepping all over the possibility every time an issue arises. Is that taking the wind out of his sails here?
No question about it. Look, what happened in Afghanistan, the worst foreign relations debacle in the history of this country, leaving Americans behind. What's happened at the border, over 1 million illegal immigrants coming across, and none of them being checked for COVID, none of them being checked for vaccines or anything, yet we're mandating, or the government is mandating, that people who have jobs are going to lose their job if they don't have a vaccine. People aren't dumb in America. People realize that this is an administration out of control. They have no control on what they're doing whatsoever. We know that we're losing our energy independence thanks to the Biden administration. Canceling the Keystone XL pipeline, yet going ahead and approving and going along with Nord Stream. This makes no sense whatsoever. This president has not done one thing right since he's been in office.
Congressman, people believe what they can see, and they don't like what they see right now. Thanks for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.